Hey guys, Brandon here. Today we're going to be checking out my Monomyth Skeleton Key. Monomyth Amps is a company based out of Indiana in the United States. As far as I know, the company owner Shay started modding amps a few years ago and then started to build his own production line. And this is his flagship model, the Skeleton Key. It to me is definitely a modded Marshall, but a little bit beefier, way more aggressive. Kind of in the low end almost gives me like a recto kind of vibe, like it's huge, but it's also tight. The amp has a couple of different controls up here. So it has a three-way bri cap. It has a compression style change, so you can go raw, more open, a mid cut, and then a three-way power amp selector. Also has what's called a blood switch on the back. Adds a little bit more gain, at least to my ears. Anyway, I'm going to play around with some riffs so you guys can hear what this thing does. I'll also pause and show you, some changes on the amp dials. Let's get to it. So, how I have this amp dialed in, ironically, most things are at noon here, treble's a little bit cranked, gain just a little bit past noon here. Um, I've come to find the middle selection on the lightning bolt here, the power amp selection is my favorite. I'm not going to mess with that one too much just because I'm going to have to adjust volume and stuff because to the left it gets a little bit more low and heavy. I think it might have to be negative feedback, something like that. I could be wrong. But we'll mess with these cuts here so you can hear. So there you can hear mid cut does cut mids. I do have it to the left. Just sounds a little bit more Marshall-y to my ears. You can also cut it and then add back in if that's your kind of thing. Compression style here too. Might get a little bit of a volume bump. So, you go darker, more compressed to the right, a little bit more open there. So let me try that again. So you can hear with the volume bump, turn back down. So. So yeah, kind of dealer's choice there. I do like it a bit more compressed because high gain stuff, just kind of goes hand in hand. Like a little bit of openness to my amps, but just for sitting with other instruments and all that, like it just works. Let me do this. Turn this back up a bit. The bright caps, I really like the certain setting I have. I have it to the middle here. To me, it doesn't become like overly bright, which you can definitely do with this amp. I'm going to show that a little bit. Let's see here. So to me, I mean that it's a super cool, nice feature to have, especially if you're playing like deathcore kind of like stuff. So slower chugs and just cutting through a mix, like especially if you're using a guitar that's like drop F or whatever low tuning you might go. I go to C standard with this thing. I don't play 7 strings. It's just not my deal. I'm going to play a couple more riffs. I'll do a little bit of sweeping with this amp. Something else I want to mention is that the thunder knob here, which I mean is like a resonant control, that really works. I'll turn it up a tiny bit. I don't want to like blow anyone's speakers out or anything, just from the low end rumble, especially if you're listening this to in a car or system. But I mean, you can hear how drastic it goes, which playing in the room by yourself, like it's pretty badass to just be able to crank this thing up and then have stuff fall off your shelf, if you know what I mean. So you get a little tired there. Just super big, got super big. I like my amps to be punchy, have some low end to them, but also very clear, which this does a great job of that. It might be one of the most aggressive amps I own. Like, you hear that bright cap thing again, so let's switch to here. But that's kind of the world I live in. I don't like things super, super bright with, a C standard tuned guitar. Again, if you do something that's way lower tuned, I would absolutely go for that. So I'll play a couple more riffs and then we'll get out of here. Alright guys, well I'm going to get out of here. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you do, like, subscribe. I'll have plenty more amp demos, more stuff regarding metal and death metal. We'll see you around.